record this. Okay. Okay, so anyway, so what we're going to do is talk about how to make the flyer work for you. One thing you should do is if you have a limited, if there's something in this sale flyer that is in the catalog, then a good thing to do is if it's on sale, that's a great thing to add to your kit for a while because of the fact, let me just go in here, because of the fact that it's something you can show all the time. It's not like something you can only show for 4 weeks. It's something you could keep in your kit forever. So for instance, one of the really good specials that would be in this flyer would be the Grill Master set because it does have the seasoned serve in it. It does have the quick shake in it. So those are things that you could sell now, or you could even resell those items and make full profit on them later on. So that's something that's in this particular flyer. The everything else that's in this flyer is really sales specials, and I'll talk about those in a second. If you think about that with the month of May flyer, of course, you would be getting the stack cooker for sure. And you'd have that, you would want to have that stack cooker because I'll tell you, that's the piece that you can sell a trillion of them if you just have it in your kit and you make that 2-ingredient soda cake with a can of soda and dark soda or pop and a chocolate cake mix. So you could do cakes in there, and for that price, it's $78 and you're getting 25% off or 35% off if you're buying under the sample sheet. So that's something in this flyer. Another thing would be the serving center. That serving center is on sale. It's normally $45 for $25, and that's another great item to mention. And back to having the flyer, if you don't have a whole bunch of these flyers, I hate to say it's better sometimes, but if you have them, show them they're on sale in the catalog and say, now turn the page, and you take them to the page where the stack cooker is and say, now see the stack cooker there, it's $114. Well, right now it's on sale for just $75. So you can, really point out the specials. Now, one thing at your Tupperware party you want to do is you want to demonstrate higher priced items, because if you're at your Tupperware party and you just love it, it's so cute, this little kid's birthday set down here, the little mini party set for $16, and you spend any length of time on that, you're going to sell $16 items, and your orders are going to be $16. My average Tupperware order at a Tupperware party is around $75 to $85, an average one. I have some that are small, I have some that are big, I have some that are a couple hundred, but you want to work on your party average, and if you talk higher prices, you're gonna sell that much, or maybe somebody might come to the party and they might buy more or less. But the one thing I will tell you is if you're in a new chain of people and they've never been to a Tupperware party for a long time, don't be discouraged if you go to that party and they don't buy, you sell $200 or $300. And the reason that is because sometimes people, when they come, they already got in their mind how much they're going to spend, and they have no clue what kind of things you have. First of all, many people think they don't need anything. And then when they get to the party and they see all the things, all of a sudden they love all the things, but they didn't figure out in their budget that they were going to spend that much money. So sometimes they don't spend as much. Another thing that can happen is they might not spend much, but hopefully they'll date parties and get it free. So so that's an important thing. The other thing that's important is if you like the things, you like different things on this page, then what you might want to do is create your own sets. And you call it Debbie's, like this set in the middle of this, the birthday month flyer, I would call this maybe Debbie's Snack and Sip set. And the reason I would call it that, and what I would tell them is in it, and I might not even have all these pieces, I would tell them that they really like special deals. They're going to love this deal because they even save a little bit more money with my special that I offer. And what they would get, they would get this big serving center, and I tell them it's big. It has nice deep pockets, and also it has a big cover that goes over top. If you have it, it's better, of course. That's why it's good to get a few samples. And the cover is nice and high, and you could put ice in the cover actually once you get to where you're at and set the tray in it so it stays nice and cold. You could also put your veggies in it, your fruit in it, your meats, your meats. You could have a salad bar in it, a taco bar. You could also take this serving center if you have little children and they want to have a project for a birthday party or maybe for a holiday. You can put chocolate, the little chocolate melts from the the little stores like AC Moore or Michaels, put them in there with some food coloring, and you take the cover, picture the cover here, you take the cover and you take your coffee pot and you run hot water through it with no coffee in it, so it comes out clear, but you know, it's just hot water, and you pour it in the cover, not in the containers, but in the cover, and you sit that serving center down in that hot water, and it actually will melt those chocolates. And if they want to make their own lollipops with the chocolates and decorate them, they can do that. So, but my Debbie's Sip and snack set would be this, because you could put your snacks in there. And then also what you would get with it is you would get these 2 pitchers, and these 2 pitchers are awesome because we don't sell those sizes normally in those push button seals, but they're great because you have the push button seals, and you could put your iced tea in there. You could put one with sweet tea, one with non-sweet tea, lemonade, you know, just put your favorite beverages in there. It has a nice handle, and it's completely liquid and airtight. And so you get that with the set. You would also get 2 sets of these little microwave reheatable dessert plates. 2 sets. And these are awesome because they're guaranteed that you reheat in the microwave at 70% power for your snack. You might want to put your tortilla chips in there and put a little bit of melted cheese on top at 70% power and have your nachos in there. So those are normally $21. And with my Debbie's snack and sip set, you would also get on the back of the other flyer, you would get the set of Crystal Wave dishes that go in the microwave. So if you did want to have some warm cheese or something for your nachos. So my snack and sip set, actually, all the things I just mentioned, is $153.50 if you were buying all these things: the serving center, the pitchers, the 2 sets of the plates, and the Crystal Wave dishes. All of this would be $153, but tonight it's all on sale for $89. $89. So you're saving a ton of money, and you could easily split that up into different gifts. So what I've just done is I've created a big set, a Debbie's, so it's $89. So instead of me selling $25 pitchers, now they're going, well, really for like $50 more, I'm getting all that stuff. I might as well just get all that stuff. Or, so you can create your own specials. And so that's an important thing that kind of is fun to do too. Okay, so those are some important things with the sales flyer, is create your own specials. And the things, if I were ordering things out of these, one thing that I would order is the purchase with purchase items, because they sometimes are small, but they need a certain amount of money to get them at a discount. Now, in the other set, let me find it here. If I was going to do, for instance, too, this blue set with the surf and turf and the shake and marinade, they're $35 and $25. But if they were going to purchase all that, it'd be $100, and you get it off for just $60 if you want everything that is blue in that picture, and they're awesome, blah, 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 and you kind of would go over that. So you could, you make your own sets, and it creates bigger and better, sales. The other thing is Tupperware makes big specials for you. For instance, I love these Crystal Wave, honestly. I think at my last demonstration, I mentioned my demonstrated products more. I mentioned about these Crystal Waves because they stack inside of each other so nicely. They just all stack. And for $99, it's a $193.50 set for $99. And they could easily take these pieces at Christmas time, fill them with candy. There's soup mugs, put a bow on top. If you're looking at it, it's actually 13 pieces. That's 13 pieces guaranteed for a lifetime. And they're looking at just about, let's see here, 13 pieces, maybe $8 a piece, with a seal and everything. So this is another really nice set that they could split up for gifts. So you want to just kind of point out all those different things. And then the other thing, we're going to go into our system in a second, is the catalog, because there are special deals in the catalog too, and you can make your own specials out of the catalog. And the one special that I talk about at every single party, and every new consultant has this in their kit, is the Power Chef Premium Set, because the Power Chef sells for $69. The Chop and Prep sells for $39. But what they can do is this sells for $69, and for $10 more, they can get everything. They're just getting only one engine, but for $10 more, and I can't tell you how, I never sell a $69 Power Chef. If somebody came up to me and said, I'm buying this Power Chef, I'd be like, are you sure you want to do that? Because you know, for $10 more, they're getting everything. The only time somebody will normally do that is if they've already bought the little chopper. So the little chopper is also a great thing, you know, to add to your kit. And again, when I mentioned about recycling things, let's say you had the little chopper in your kit and you never used it. Now what you're going to do is at your hostess's Tupperware party, if let's say there was $70 in items that you have in your kit that you really want to switch things around a little bit, then what you would do is you would just say to a customer there, let's say they ordered this, you would just say, you know what, Tanya, if you would like, I could give you I could give you your chop and prep tonight if you would like, and you can just take it home with you. Would you like to do that? And you do charge them tax and FedEx because you did pay that. And I was caught FedEx. I never caught shipping. You know me. If you know me at all and you've been to any of my parties, I never say that word shipping never comes out of my mouth, because I think people think shipping and handling is like you're making money. I'm not making any money off shipping and handling. So I don't, and 99% of the orders come FedEx. So, and if she says, yeah, I'll take it tonight, then I write on the hostess's order, received, and then what I'll do is I go, okay, that's $39. And I'll direct ship, you know, maybe I'll sell something else on my kit, and I'll direct ship my order back to me that is like 39, you know, that amount back, or I'll take it home and order samples with it. You know what? It's a good thing to do is keep a little kitty, so you have that money separate, so it's not with your other Tupperware money, so that you have it. Okay. The other thing that is a neat little set, and I don't know if any of you have these, but on page 14, I call it the cleanup set. I just started selling these, and I'm selling a lot of them. And the cleanup set is my own little set I created. And because I love these things, and I think when you show that these towels especially, I can't tell, do any of you have these towels? I don't know if you do or not, that's okay. But if you have these towels are amazing. They absorb, well, the description tells you absorbs up to 8 times their weight in water. I'm telling you, I can dry my whole big 2016 Acadia I just got from Tupperware. I can go through the car wash, dry that whole Acadia off, and I can't even wring it out with the water. That's how much it absorbs. But these towels, they also pick up all the germs. They have microfiber on them. And when you dry dishes, if you ever do dry dishes, I'll tell you, you dry dishes with these, you'll never want to use another towel. After a while, you'll realize the difference. You'll go, oh my gosh, because you just feel like you're rubbing the water around it in a circle. So these towels are great. So my cleanup set is the set of towels, because you're cleaning, you know, you can use them to clean up your messes and wipe your hands and everything, keeping them clean. And then the cleanup also is you clean your bowls. So we have the spatulas. You get both spatulas, which are great because the small one's great, the big one's great, and nothing sticks to it. If you're doing Rice Krispie treats or caramel, nothing sticks to those spatulas. And then also the cleanup, the flexible cutting boards are great for cleaning up because you cut right on them, and then you can bend them and pour the food right into the pan or whatever, and they go right in the dishwasher. So my cleanup set is if you added these all together, it would be $77.50. But what I do, and if you don't mind losing a little money and you don't get paranoid if the hostess's sales credit doesn't add up to the penny, because it's not going to, I will sell this set for $74. Say it's a savings, $74.99. You'll save some extra money, but you'll love all these pieces that you're getting, and those spatulas have a lifetime warranty. So it's really $77.50. So on like $3, I'm not making profit. So anyway, but you want to go through it, and if there's things that you like, another really cute one to do is with the kids set. I'm just kind of showing you something. You make up your own sets, but the kids, Debbie's kids set, and what it is it's just the little bowl set, which I love those little bowl sets, the bell tumblers and the sipper seals. And the whole set, if you add that together, it's $30, $40, $59. And what I might do is tell them what they purchase all 3 of them. They'll get the Mama's Cookbook for half price. So you can actually add things in at half price too if they buy the whole the whole set. They're not really saving any money, but then they're buying the other piece at half, half price. Same thing with the water bottles. People love these water bottles. I sell tons of water bottles. You probably do too if you talk about them and all. When you say to people, when you buy a Tupperware water bottle, you will never have to buy another water bottle. They have a lifetime warranty against cracking, chipping, breaking, peeling. They're all BPA free. The caps even tell you they're BPA free. And people go, why do I need, why would I need whatever sizes I would want? Well, number one is I really recommend people have at least 2 of each size, or especially the ones they take on the run, because when people want to go, it's not that they don't mind taking a water bottle. They don't want to take the time to fill the water bottle. So it's always nice to have a water bottle filled ready the night before you go to bed. Always have an extra water bottle in there filled. But what I do is anybody that purchases $50 in water bottles, I sell them the brushes, the water bottle brushes. They're $8 for half price. So again, I'm trying to create, instead of them buying one water bottle, they'll buy, $50 worth, and they'll talk to their friend and split it. But just to go over some of the water bottles, they're made for your hand so that they fit your hand nicely, because they have that little dent, almost like a woman's waist. Well, my waist is up. I don't have a waist anymore. But anyways, we won't go there. Anyways, but the bigger 2 are great too if it's really hot outside and you want to rest your head back, and the water bottle's nice and cold, your head will fit right in there. But you can freeze in them, so you can actually freeze because they are BPA free. And you can leave them in your car too. And they're air and liquid type. They can roll around. But the nice thing is you could freeze them half full or freeze them however full you want to. But you always want to leave a little bit of headspace. But the large one, I love the large one because of the fact it's great to keep on the table instead of a big pitcher water. If you drink a lot of water, it's also great to freeze and use even in your cooler, because now you've got clean water when you need it, and then your cooler's all not messy. And the other thing with the big one, I love it because ice cubes, normal size ice cubes will fit in it. You can't usually get water bottles that ice cubes will go in the top of it. The 25-ounce one is great. It's the great one I really love to just drink my water out of. And also, by the way, that big one's good for filling your Keurig coffee maker, so you don't have mess all over when you're filling it. But the 25-ounce one's great for those that are trying to drink at least 50 ounces a day. And it's just a nice size, and it fits in most cup holders. And then you've got the regular size water bottle, which is great, for those that don't drink quite as much. And then you've got the little extra mini one, which is good because it gets the kids in the habit of having their own water bottle, and it's slim. So $50 in water bottles, and they can get smart brushes for half price. So you can create your own specials. And like I said, yes, specials in the flyer, but you don't always have to use the specials in the flyer. You can really focus on the things in the catalog. And just a reminder, when the catalogs come out, and I don't know who's watching this when, someone might watch this in 6 months or 2 years. There's usually a special, a purchase with purchase, because this is on the whole catalog. This is on from till end of August. This is a really good purchase with purchase to purchase for you to have, because they're really a nice set of small bowls, and they need to have a, what is it? It's not even that much, a $40 order from the catalog. So they can't have $40 in these. They have to have it from the catalog in order to get that set for just $12. So that's a really good special. And like I said, you're showing it throughout the whole time period. The other thing is if you're ever buying gifts for somebody, Mother's Day, birthdays, I would hope, maybe you didn't think like this, but the best thing to give is Tupperware, because you sell Tupperware. So if you're at a party and someone opens up their present, you're at a bridal shower, and they open up your gift card, great. If they open up Tupperware, what do you think they're going to say? Of course, Tanya, you would give Tupperware. You sell Tupperware. Oh, then people are at that shower going, I love Tupperware. I have it, and you don't even have to advertise. It's awesome. The best Tupperware to give to people, though, as gifts are like Fridge Smart, Modular Mates, Vent and Serve, lunch things. Because the thing that happens is with Vent and Serve, Modular Mates, and that type of thing, once they buy one or they get one, they want more. So it kind of gets people wanting more. And then sometimes, sometimes too, I will say this, I do have one more special, and I wasn't going to tell my secret, but I will. Anyways, not that it's a secret, but I don't want you thinking, well, she gives a lot away. but I feel like it's free, it's advertisement for me, is these Fridge Smarts. I do, and I still am doing it. I act like I'm going to stop doing it, but I haven't been, I have not stopped. There's a special value of, on page 61, where they get the whole 4-piece set, and they get the whole set for $84, and they save $5. And what I do is when they purchase the whole set, I sell it to them at $10 off. And you might go, $10 off? That means it's $74. But that same person might have just ordered $20, and I would have made less money if they ordered $20 than if they order 84, 70. You know what I'm saying? I'm still making more money because they bought a lot than if they. It's kind of like if you went to the, how do I say this? If you went to the dollar store, well, that isn't a good thing. But that's, if you have someone come to your Tupperware party and they buy $20 in Tupperware, you're gonna make $5. If they come to your Tupperware party and they spend $74. Now you're going to make more than $5, even though you might have made more. But the other thing I can tell you is if you get those people to use those Fridge Smarts, they will sell more for you at the next few parties, because once people get them, I told Steve, my husband, this morning, or last night, I don't know when it was, but when I ever talked to him, because I've been on the phone a lot with Tanya. I'm teasing Tanya. Anyways, I was on the phone. But the thing is the fact that, I had strawberries in that one module, in the medium deep. I had those in there, 2 days short of 3 weeks. And those strawberries, I showed them at one of the other demonstrations that I had a week or two ago, and I just finished them last night. They still look good. So once people get those Fridge Smarts, but the key thing with those, because you don't want people, maybe this has happened to you too, and we're not going to go into the whole thing, but one thing is, I tell people, if you spend over $30 on a gadget or a Tupperware product, you want to make sure you have it in sight. So if you are selling that chopper, if you buy that chopper from me tonight, then do me a favor when you get it. Take it out of the box as soon as you get in your house. Just remember this. As soon as it lands in your doorstep, take it out of the box and sit it on your counter. And let it on your counter for at least 30 days. Probably even less than that. But what happens then is you remember you have it, you start using it, and it becomes your best friend. If you leave it in the box, you just spent $69 and it's in a box somewhere. Don't do that to yourself. The other thing too is like Fridge Smarts. With Fridge Smarts, you should, when you get them home, you should take them, I'd wash them, put them, if you got vegetables and fruits, put them in, even though they've been sitting out for, the vegetables and fruits have been out for a while, and then find where you're going to keep them in your cupboard. You want to keep it, keep them in the area too. Some refrigerators freeze things in certain areas. You want to put them on the shelf, use your rotter drawers where everything rots, and put your soda in there, your pop, your yogurts, your, anything like that. I have one drawer in my refrigerator that's designated. We use it for leftovers. All the leftovers go in it. So if we are looking for something that we had left over last night, we know it's in that drawer. So our leftovers are always in that drawer or right above it in case they don't fit. So we always have a leftover area. But my Fridge Smarts always stay in there whether they're, empty or not. Because if you take your rotter drawer, you would not take that out if it was empty. You wouldn't take it out and put it somewhere. So your Fridge Smarts are a permanent. Pretend like you got them with your refrigerator and leave them in there. So when you get home from the grocery store, you put your vegetables and fruits right in them. If you, some people think like everything's differently, but a lot of people want to buy organic, but it's so expensive. So with these Fridge Smarts, your food, it at least will stay fresh, or at least twice as long, if not longer. And if you're going to have something a long time, just don't wash it, because when you wash it, natural preservatives do come off of it. And tell them about how the bottom, the air circulates. Years ago, we had a Crispit container that had a little pregnant seal, and it had a little core that sat in it. And that little core that sat in there would lift up that lettuce so the air could go in underneath it. The Fridge Smart's the same way. The Fridge Smart will, the air circulates. And if you think about, I always tell them this because I want to give them words to picture things. Think about if you ever bought a bag lettuce and how it gets all slimy where it lays, and they can picture this. You're giving them words that they think about, and it lays there, and then it's because the air can't circulate around it. So, and then, because when you're telling them this, they're really relating to you. because you can say your vegetables and fruits will stay fresh longer, but when you start talking about how things get slimy and gunky and, you know, shriveled up, the cucumbers all shriveled and the peppers are all shriveled, then it really kind of hits home. And then you talk about how easy it is because of that little glider, and it has those vegetables and fruits on it that you know where to glide it. And also I tell them, don't get worried like, what is this and what is that? Most people buy the same vegetables and fruits almost every week. So once you know how to set it, you're ready to go. And it does come with a paper that tells you what all those vegetables and fruits are, or if for some reason you didn't get a paper online, you can go to my website or go Google, you know, Tupperware vegetable keeper, you know, or whatever, and I'll tell you, you know, where they go. So, and then they stack on top of each other. They're modular, and so you want to tell them all that kind of stuff. The other thing that's important, because with Fridge Smarts, I'm sorry we're getting into Fridge Smarts a lot, but the one thing with Fridge Smarts too is if you don't tell them this, they look at that medium deep and they go like, I don't buy that much of one thing. Well, that's when you want to mention how you can mix things together. You know, some people if you buy different color peppers and cucumbers, you can put them all together in one container if they take the same kind of air. And we have heavy breathers, light breathers, and they kind of laugh about that, low breathers. And so if you have a lot of heavy breathers like cauliflower and broccoli, you'll keep that on. So you know, so it's important to, you know, talk about word description. So think about descriptive words. You know, is your cupboard a mess? You know, you've got powder, you know, your spices have tipped over, your powdered sugar's tipped over, it's coming out of the bag, you know, and it's like your ants are coming in, and then they say the word Tupperware though, and then they head back out because they know they can't get in. So sometimes you want to use descriptive words that they can relate to. Same way with that Quick Chef Pro or the Power Chef. You know, if you just talk about mixing things together, like you can blend this, salad dressings, you can do your cake mixes. But when you get talking to young people about Dairy Queen blizzards and chopping up the Oreos and the Snickers, all of a sudden they hear you like, I can make my own blizzards in here. And so sometimes you got to remember, not everybody chops onions. And if you say it's just to chop onions and nuts, they're like, I don't make onions and nuts. But with that Quick Chef, I can throw old bread in there, make breadcrumbs, or use croutons to make breadcrumbs. I can, this is with the Quick Chef Pro, not the Power Chef, but with one with the handle. You can put about three potato halves in there and chop it, make hash browns. You could take and put your cooled chicken in there or any cooled meat, and it'll shred your meat. If you have ground beef and you cooked ground beef in the stack cooker and it was clumpy or it was a little bit not as, you're going to make spaghetti sauce and you want it finer or like Mexican dishes, you can put in that Quick Chef and turn that handle and it'll make it nice and fine. You know, your blizzards, you can do this fruit salsa. So you want to give them different ideas. And the more of these kind of things you get on, you're going to hear things over and over and go, I heard her say that already. I heard her say that again. But they say you need to hear things 7 times before sometimes it sinks in. So, you know, and I change things around too. I do different things. Okay. Any questions on any of that? Oh, here we got a chat here. Mine is on its way. What is it, Nikki? What is it you're getting? Chat what you're getting. Excited. The stack cooker, yay! Okay, great. You guys, I'm telling you, even if you don't use that stack cooker, you will sell that when you get on sale for $114. You know, and if you have somebody, if you don't have one and you want to show one, make sure too that, you know, maybe there's somebody else that has one around you that you can borrow, because you know, you just sell one. Actually, if you sold one of those or 2 of those, I mean, one of those is going to actually pay for almost another stack cooker because of the discount you're getting right now. Okay, now what we're going to do is we're going to exit here and we're going to share the screen. And we're going to go over some systems and things you could do at your party. I did mention earlier, in case I didn't start recording right away, that I recommend that you do use part of your party for your sales specials that are in the flyers and the other part for the catalog. And I did mention too that if there's just a weekly flyer or whatever, don't stress yourself out if you have a party on a Wednesday or Thursday trying to show that flyer and get that party closed out. I want to mention to you right now that you really, 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 if at all possible, want to always close out your Tupperware party when a flyer's ending or a catalog's ending or any sale is ending by Thursday night or Friday noon at the latest. And the reason is, first of all, don't procrastinate. Get it in. It'll get in ahead of others' orders. It can take 2 weeks to come. But the other thing is, if you ever have a situation where you miscomposed a credit card number or you forgot the expiration date and now you went out to dinner Friday night, you're coming home, it's 10 o'clock, you're like, I got a party to put in, no big deal. You start putting it in, and now all of a sudden the computer's slowed down because of it's a big week. Or you go to put a credit card in and you have the credit card number incorrectly and it's 11 o'clock and you don't know this person. Can you really call somebody at 11 o'clock to make sure it's their credit card number? So, because we all do that. So I just want to mention that to you. Okay, now we're going to share the screen, like I said I was going to do. And I hope maybe you learned one or two things from that. Maybe heard an idea that you never thought about. And we're going to go to, that's not it. I thought I had it open. Here it is right here. Okay, and what we're going to do is we're going to talk about training parties. A really good thing to do is actually go on a party with somebody else. I'm going to recommend that, whether it be me, whether it be another consultant. It can be it's just really fun to go with somebody else and watch them. And sometimes it's good because you can help each other. And sometimes, and you've got to be ready, because maybe the person's going to say, you want to be able to take constructive criticism, because sometimes you might want to do something a little bit different, or you might think if she would have just said that a little different, like, for instance, maybe at the party you're talking about having a party to somebody and you say something like, you wouldn't want to have a party, would you? Kind of like it's in a negative content. But, whatever it is, you want, it's good to go watch somebody else. And sometimes you go and go, wow, I learned different things, and sometimes you learn from what people don't do right. So, but be honest with the person that you go with, as long as they are okay with you being honest about that. Okay, one thing that's important is when you go, don't add to the demonstrator unless she asks you to. They might be going to say what you say, and you can't say everything you know at every party. Remember that. So if I was at your Tupperware party, let's say at Nikki's Tupperware party, and she's demonstrating, and she talks about the Quick Chef, and she's nervous, and she just says it's great for chopping, I am not, as a guest, going to go, Nikki, you forgot to tell them you can do this, and you can do this, and you can do this. You want to just, it's their party, you just let them do what they do, because you don't know if they're going to say to the guests, what are some ideas you have? Because sometimes, if you're ever nervous, that's one of the best things to say is, what's some ideas you have? Or if people are all talking, like it's people, this is normally people you know real well. They're all talking and you're trying to demonstrate. It's like, is anybody listening? Hello? A good thing to do is ask a question like, how many of you have one of these? And shut up. And when you shut up, they're like, what did she say? And you know what? I will tell you this too, is don't ever worry about how you look or what's going on around you, if you could just avoid it. Because the people that are listening, those 1 or 2 or 3 people, they feel so sorry for you. Many times they'll date a party with you. Years ago, when it was my family, I actually turned around and started talking to the wall, and they kind of got the idea that maybe they needed to listen. But, and if they're having a really good time and they're just talking, you want them to have fun, just shorten it up and let them have fun. I mean, really. Okay, dress for success. Now this is old. It says no jeans, shorts, or low-cut tops. All tops should have sleeves or a collar. T-shirts shouldn't be. Well, I'm just going to share with you. Jeans are okay. You just want to make sure they look nice and neat, not all, not whatever. But honestly, like capris are good. I would not wear shorts. And you do want to watch low-cut tops because, and then there's husbands there, and you want to look like the ugliest lady there, so they all look prettier than you, and they will love you. Okay, that isn't nice, is it? But anyways, so you want to look, you want to look successful, because if you look successful, then they think you're successful. T-shirts just hang on people, and they don't normally look really great. I'm going to be putting out. I think Cindy did it too, Nikki, where I'm going to put out, like, we have some polo shirts that are really nice that you can get that say Tupperware, and I'm going to be putting out a challenge, actually, to get some polo shirts for free, because they have sleeves, they have nice collars and stuff. And then smile, and when you're at the party, smile and look for two people. You should, as a guest, so if you're thinking about this, do you do this at your parties? Look for two people at the party that you think would be great selling Tupperware to tell the trainer later. Because sometimes when you're a guest at a party, you actually hear and see things, you know, better than she does. Take notes, and I'm going to show you the different notes. Okay, if you have questions, wait until the party's over. If you something was forgotten once the demo's over, just mention it to the person. Never talk about politics, religion, or other people, or current affairs, or your personal problems or situations at home, because they really came to the party to get away from theirs. And so you want to watch that, especially with this race going on right now. You know, you don't want to get it. They're going to talk about it. Maybe you don't want to get involved in the conversation. I was telling Tanya, I think last night too, that you could say you're going to have them vote at the Tupperware party on which hostess gift that they like the best, because really a great thing to do at your party to get more datings. And we're not really doing datings tonight. That's not part of the thing. But what you can do is say, you know, if you all turn to page 79 of the 78 of the catalog. And then also on page 76, I want to show you some really neat things. All the hostesses for having a party, when they qualify, they get to pick really neat gifts. And you're going to get to vote tonight, because we're not voting for Democrats or Republicans. We're voting for the people's choice, which is the Tupperware party. So it's not the Democratic Party. It's not the Republican. It's the Tupperware party. So what I wanted you to do is we're going to pretend like I have 10 of these sets out in my car right now. 10. And you all get to take one free home tonight, for you or as a gift. Always good to say as a gift, because you might have someone there going, I don't need anything, which that's really nice, they don't. Or another thing you could do is you could take a $200 shopping spree in our catalog. You might want to take Fridge Smart and our Denton Serve I talked about, or the Stack Cooker. So if you were going to get the hostess gift here on page, which is the Glamour picnic set, the picnic set, or the $200 in free Tupperware, which would you take? And if you'll vote and put what you would choose, whether it be $200 in your choice or the picnic set, put it on the top of your order form so I know which one you like the best. This way when they come up, you can talk to them about it. And then you have them go around and tell us which one they like the best. And then it kind of lets people, you know, makes them think, if I was having a party, which would I take free? If I'm getting one free, which would I take? So that helps. And you don't want to take your children to your party if you're the consultant, or if you're the, you know, if you're the consultant, or if you are a guest, you know, you're learning how to do a party. You know, like Cheryl, she doesn't take her kids to I'm sure all the people that work at Myers don't take all the kids with them to work, right, Cheryl? And you know, I love children, but the thing is if you take them, you can't, it's not fair to a child, because you can't take care of them the way they need to be taken care of. And also you have people there, your goal is to date parties away from your family and friends. So if you have that one or two guests there and your family and friends said, hey, bring your kids with you and wear jeans and just wear whatever you want, and you're like, oh yeah, it's my family. And here your goal is you want to get out of your family chains, and now these people think, I don't know, you know, like Emma, she's a good little girl, I know she is, but a lot of times too, if your child's crying, they want you, you know, so it's important. So and you'll get a copy of this too. Okay, now let's go on here. Now, this is a format of a party, and what you want to do is, this thing tells you everything. Set your Tupperware on a counter or an island, and this is doing a cooking class, or you might have an end table in the, a coffee table in the living room. You might take a little table. You can sometimes get card tables really inexpensively. You buy that, if you have that Tupperware table, you could use that. I've actually had parties where I had no room to even put a table. It was so cramped. I've done dorm parties in dorms, and I bought, like, at the you know, like CVS or Walgreens, I bought like a checkered tablecloth, and in the summertime I would have that, so if I needed to do a party on the floor, I'd just get down on the floor and I'd set up a picnic display. So however you want to set up your Tupperware is great. You just want to make sure it is clean, and you'll find that if you're cooking at your party, sometimes your things will start to get a little bit scratched or used. You want to put the things that you don't cook with in front of the people that they can touch and talk. You know, if you have anything that's all kind of scratched up, or, you know, not maybe looking the brightest and shiniest, you want to keep that cooking stuff to the one side so you can use it to cook with. And keep the newer things by the people. The other thing too is if your Tupperware starts getting a little bit battered from cooking, sell it at your parties. Sell it for 20% off. You know, if I could get a stack cooker at 20% off normally, I'd be excited, and then take that money and buy another stack cooker. So you can do that. So it tells you about carrying a table, and then it tells you the things for your party, your system of things that you want to have in your kit. All the Tupperware you need to make recipes if you're making recipes, and this is like a checkoff sheet so you don't forget anything. Your tablecloth or a garbage bag to put the food in case of spills. Sometimes if you're at a lady's house, and I do usually have a couple extra garbage bags. If she is having it in her living room and you're cooking, sometimes I will, if she has a white carpet or something, lay a little something down. You could have a seasonal tablecloth or a black cloth. If you want to put seasonal things, like we're in the tropics right now with the front of the catalog looking all summery and the tropical glamour, you can buy, you know, different like flowers and put them on your table to decorate it if you'd like to do that. And one thing, well, I'll get to that in a second. Okay, game gadgets, you know, you want to try to give everybody something for coming to the party, just for coming. And I normally give it to them when they place their order. So if someone comes up to me and says, I'm not ordering, can I still get a gift? Of course, I'm not going to say, no, you can. Or they might be, you know, but I don't go find everybody that didn't place an order. I just have my little gadgets up, you know, up near me, you know, when they place their order. You can use the Tupperware gadgets. They have, it's called Tiny Treasure Bag on the sales aid list, which has a bunch of different things in it. You could buy gadgets that aren't even Tupperware, that you might buy at the dollar store or something that you just, you know, but you don't want to spend, you know, a bunch of money, but they are placing an order, and in order to make money, sometimes, you know, you spend money. You want to have your catalogs and flyers with your name and everything on them. Fundraising catalogs, or at least one of them, so you can talk about fundraisers, and maybe just put one up at your table so that it reminds you to talk about fundraisers. When you order samples the next time, maybe pick something out when you pick something out of the fundraising flyer, because if you buy a sample at 35% off, you can put that on the same sampling of, you know, of any other sampling. And if you're like, what are you talking about? I'm just going to share with you what I would do is when you go to order samples the next time, the reason some people will order them as samples, like right now you can order this at the sampling price. You can't order the flyer that's ending tomorrow, but you can order things out of here. So when you order samples, if you're ordering any, you would go and you do a non-party order for samples, and you only put samples on the order, nothing but samples. And the way you can make sure that's what you put on it is when you go in, you do a non-party order for the consultant, and then when you get to the party order where it shows the item number and the quantity, over to the right, there is that search button. And when you click on it, you can click on search, and you can pick out the one that says fundraisers, or excuse me, sampling. So when you click on sampling, it shows you every single thing that's available at 35% off, because you get 35% off one item. You can get one of everything at 35% off, and the maximum shipping you pay is $8. But if you put $150 in Tupperware on there, it's $8. If you add one warranty item on, just one thing warranty, it's going to shoot that shipping probably about $20-some. So you want to watch that. But it is good to either take a piece of Tupperware that's a fundraising item that you can mention. It kind of reminds you to tell people we do fundraisers, or have a fundraising flyer. And the fundraisers is a whole nother thing. Okay, folders, you know, you might have folders so you feel organized. When I first started, a system that I didn't have, it's a nice system, is to greet people and say, hi, here's a flyer, or here's a folder for you, thanks for coming. Or you might even have some people will actually take the sale flyer, they've got a lot of them, and they'll pull that out and put it with the flyer and say, and they'll have a pen with them, and they'll say, Nick, hi, and let's say I'm talking to Nikki, and she comes in, hi, I'm Debbie from Tupperware, glad you're here tonight, and your name is, And she says, Nikki. And they go, Nikki, great. I'm going to put that on this special sale flyer for you, Nikki. And thanks for coming tonight. And how do you know the hostess? And, you know, you can make a little bit of conversation. And how long has it been since you were at a Tupperware get-together? And, you know, learn a little bit. You don't have to wait until the party's over to learn about people. You can learn about them ahead of time. And sometimes the people that come first are, you know, a little bit like whatever. And you might say, Nikki, would you mind? You're the first one here. Would you mind being my assistant tonight? Would you mind handing out my little tickets? Or would you mind, you know, whatever you'd have them doing. So, or the first time when I ask somebody to help do a recipe, would you be the first one to volunteer? I'll have a little extra gift for you. So, you know, this thing, what happens is you're just kind of making conversation with those people. And then inside that folder, you would have your catalogs, order forms. And I used to sometimes put the fundraising flyer in there. Sometimes I put an old one in. Again, I never throw away any flyers or anything, but the old ones I use at different vendor shows sometimes. But I did stop putting fundraising flyers in my folders because people were ordering Tupperware from it for the hostess, and I can't order that with their party. So if they want fundraising items, one thing you could do is if someone goes, I really do love this, I want this, you should have an open fundraiser for yourself as a consultant, open every single month, and give away the money to something. Give it to, you know, the SPCA, or give it to Women's in Crisis, or whatever. Do a fundraiser online every month, you know, so people can just go there and order fundraising things. And then that way you feel good. The optional is the keychain game. Half say win this gift. And I'm going to send this to you, and I think you're familiar with that. The money bag with your change in it. You want to make sure you have that with a calculator. And tickets or drawing pieces of paper. You could have a big deal basket. This is right here. If you don't know what a big deal basket is, what that is where, let's say you bought something. Oh, let's say you wanted to buy, let's see, what was it? Okay, this is a good one. Let's say you bought this set here, this big set with all these goodies in it. And these aren't regular catalog colors, so like, it's not like you can resell them if you don't sell them. And then let's say you bought, you know, this, or let's say you won a drawing on my Zoom meeting, or you won something at the sales meeting, and, you know, we did some kind of drawings, or you just have some extra Tupperware that you bought because it was on sale. Whatever it is, what you do is a big deal basket. You take a basket. You could buy them at AC Moore, Michaels, or you could take a Tupperware bowl, or you could take a Tupperware box and decorate it with wrapping paper. Actually, wrap the box with wrapping paper. Could be tropical wrapping paper, one color, and you throw all these different pieces of Tupperware in there out of the plastic. And or if it's small things, like maybe it's one Bell tumbler and a sipper seal set, you know, one sipper seal, whatever it is, you might put that in a plastic bag. But what I do is I put them in my big deal basket, and I put bows on a few things. Like I just go to like the dollar store, and you get like those 3 stringy, those bows that, you know, have the little, you know, they're like, there's 3 of things. Anyways, and you put those on it. So when you walk in, this looks like a big present. Like, wow, what is that, Debbie? This is my big deal basket. I only do this certain months. Like June is one of the months I do it, because June is a month where I normally really try to focus on dating a lot of parties. And I'm going to tell you gals, you know, there's a month that really, I don't know. It's really a good month. So what I do is I'll take my big deal basket in, and what it's for is when I get down, just say, now you notice my basket here, and what this is for is everything in my basket, and it might have a couple big things in it too. Everything in my basket is worth between $8 and $20. And what happens is tonight, and there's special exclusive colors. You don't say there are things people didn't want and they change the color. You say they're exclusive. That means exclusive, great. They're exclusive colors, and what happens is when you spend $40 or more, you get to purchase something out of my big deal basket for just $5. There's no tax or FedEx or anything, just $5. When you date a party, you get another item out of there for $5. If you spend $80, you get another item for $5. And so what happens is this $5 money is your extra money for gas and all your other little goodies. The other thing that happened is you got $40 orders. You got dating. So is it worth it maybe to lose $1 or something or whatever on these items? Of course it is. So it's your big deal basket. And before you start, you tell your hostess as you walk in, before I even bring it in, Cheryl, I wanted to ask you, I want to do something tonight, but I have to have your permission because I won't do it unless you tell me it's okay. Cheryl, I would love to bring in my big deal basket. It's a basket with some Tupperware specials in it. And the way it works is if anybody purchases something from it, they get to purchase things when they order $40 or more. And they get it for $5. And if they book a party to help your party, they get something for $5. Now, the thing that happens, Cheryl, is you do not get sales credit on it. But what it does is it gets you $40 or more in orders for your party, so your sales are going to be bigger, and it gets bookings for your party. But the people are just going to pay me the $5 after I get the grand total of their order. So their grand total is $65. They'll pay me $70. And so is that okay with you that you don't make money or you don't get credit on that $5 item, but it's going to help you? I've never ever had a hostess go, no, I don't want you to bring it in. They love it. It's fun. It's pretty. And, you know, you make it look really special, but it's like, what is this? And sometimes I will have, like, I'll have those pictures in there. It might be something worth $20. I mean, you know, but it gets people, it really works out nicely. So that's called the big deal basket. The other thing, too, on here, let's see. Well, it tells you about some other things on here. You want to pick up your positive attitude, have the directions, figure out what you're going to make. And then this last thing, sometimes people forget this when they're in Tupperware for a short while, and that is you always want to have a piece of paper in your date book. Let's say this is your date book. You should have a piece of paper sticking out, or a 3x5 card. It could have stickers on it. It could just be hand-wrote bonus days, and you want to have the next 6 to 10 dates on there. And you want to assume they're going to have a demonstration. You don't want to say, are you going to have a demonstration? You're just going to say, oh, Nikki, I'm so glad you played the dating game. These are my dates that I have open with. There is bonus gifts. And so which date looks good for you? And you're going to have on it like Tuesday, May 14th, you know, or what, I don't know, date, I'm just saying dates, Wednesday, Saturday. You want to have the day, date, and time, not just the date, because if you just have the date, I bowl on Tuesdays. Is that a Tuesday? Is that a Wednesday? So day, date, and time, and you want to put probably maybe 10 different dates, and you want to fill out 4 or 5 of them with things that you already have going. So Sunday, you might put this coming Sunday's date, and you'll put Debbie McGee, you know, 7 o'clock, even though it's not 7 o'clock. You'll put it in, you know, you got your kids, you know, tap dancing lesson, you know, the teacher's name and her and the time. So it looks like dates are already taken, and now they have to pick in between. Because if it's all empty with no dates and nobody's dated a party, it looks like, why didn't nobody date a party in those bonus dates? So put dates you really can't do a party and put down on it, you know, some people's names on there. Okay, now let's go to the party. Here we go. Okay, now here we go, and we're almost done, even though we haven't got to this part too good, but we're going to get the recipe for consultant success. Set up your display, pass out your folders, and then I'm going to kind of talk about the things that are on here. I'm not going to read over this whole thing, but the thing that you want to do is at your demonstrations is the key. There's components to your party, and you want to look at the before. It's kind of like it's kind of like an actress on a Broadway show, okay? And you want to think about how the show goes. So first of all, you want to think about prior to the party. So, you know, before the show begins, what do you do? And that's all your prep things that you do when you get there. You want to make sure you're there at least 20 to 30 minutes early. I tell hostesses I'll be there 20 to 30 minutes early. My goal is to be there 30 minutes early. But I say 20 to 30, so in case I'm running a couple minutes late, she's not panicking. So that's the before the show. You want to make sure you have the change. You want to have everything in the car ready to go and feel comfortable and be excited about the party, and think positive thoughts. This is going to be a great party. I'm going to date parties, and I'm going to make the most of this party, whether there's 2 people there or 20. I'm going to have a good time, because fun is the main component of the party. The second, okay, so that's the prior. The second part of the party is actually where the people start walking in. It's kind of like the playbill where they actually hand out, you know, who's in the show, what's going to happen, and that's where you're actually there ahead of time. You might prep, if you're doing recipes, you might get things cut up a little bit or peeled or whatever, and then you want to, you know, be handing out the flyers and everything. You never want to start the party longer than 15 minutes from when it was supposed to start, and a good way to make sure that you do that is to just not even ask the hostess, just say to a few guests, oh, we're going to be doing some drawings, and you get a drawing for being on time. How many of you think we should start now so you can all be in an extra drawing, or, you know, do something like that? And then what happens is they say, let's, you know, we want to do this. So it gets the party going, because sometimes hostesses think someone's coming and then they never come, and then they're embarrassed. And people got there early so that they could, you know, get, you know, so that it's not fair to them. They might have to leave early. So that's the handing out and everything. Now the third part, so you've got the prep, the prior, the playbill time, or the time you're handing out your catalogs, flyers, getting things set up, setting up your demonstration. And when you're setting up your demonstration, the table, you want to make sure, I would recommend, honestly, I recommend, if you don't have a Tupperware tablecloth, I would get a black piece of material, you know, or a black sheet or whatever, just something black. Tupperware looks gorgeous on black, and you can fold it up and make it fit whatever place you're putting it at, unless you're on a countertop or something. And then you want to set up your Tupperware so the color scheme goes together. So if you have pastel things, you want those together. If you have blue things, those are together. The things that are in the middle, or kind of break it up, are things like the can opener, even though it's little, black and white, something clear with a seal off of it. So you want to make sure like it flows. You want to put tall things in the back, short things in the front, so people can see everything. You need to put things on the floor. I like to put hostess things on the floor, because then it's like separate, so it doesn't look like that's part of it if you're taking the hostess gift. And again, you want to make sure it's clean and sparkly, and you want to be that way too. So, and you want to make sure too, like, you're not, if you chew gum, not to be chewing your gum. I'll never forget, I went with this consultant at a party, you'll love this, and she was smoking at the party during the demonstration. Okay, now let me show you the next thing. I was a new consultant, and I thought, is she really smoking right during the party? She was. It was like, she didn't date any parties, but I'm sure that might have been one of the reasons, but I'm not sure. But anyways, it was just during a party. You got to, like, it's like you're at work. You got to be able to not have to take everything. If you're taking anything to drink, take your water bottle. That's always good, because your water bottle's on there. But you want to make sure that you have the table looking nice, and that you have things, you know, split up, and so people can see it. A really good thing to use if you're like, what am I going to use? Some people will buy like a little ironing board. You can buy those little ironing boards, and they'll put them in their car to set it up, you know, to set it up. But people, if they have an ironing board, it doesn't take up much space, and it actually being long, it's awesome, and you can stand behind it. It's a great thing to use for demonstrations. So that's your setup. Then the next part of your party is your introducing everybody. So it's your introduction. So that's the next step. So you went from the you know, from the prep to the playbill to the setup, and now you're doing the introduction. And you want to introduce yourself for sure. If you're doing one recipe, you can do the whole introduction thing at one time. But if you want to make sure you introduce who you are, and that you love what you do, and you want to tell your I story. If you don't know what your I story is why you came into Tupperware, why you stay in Tupperware, what you love about Tupperware, and what you do with the money, or what your goals are. Like, what is something you're working for? I'm working to take my family to Disney. I'm working to buy my husband, instead of our regular budget, I'm working to buy him a special surprise present. I'm working to take my kids this summer to a certain place. I'm working to, whatever I'm using it. You know, I had a lot of debt with my student loans, and I'm using it to pay off my student loans, because they just come to live with me. And I just love Tupperware because it's helped me pay off my student loans. When you tell people that stuff, they're going, oh my gosh, I have that. Oh, I had credit card debt. Oh, I have that. Oh, maybe I should be doing this. You know, it's not like you got to tell your whole long story, but it's just a minute or so. But the thing is they start relating to you, and you know what happens is they're like, I want to help her. I want to help, you know. And when at the end of the party, when you talk about this is helping your hostess by dating a Party Plus, I want to thank you again, because if it wasn't for Tanya, that's how how my business works. It's my best way for me to make my income. It's my business, and I treat it as a business. I want to do a good job for you too. So, so don't be afraid to tell them that. So you tell about yourself. Then the next step is normally I do my cooking. I do the core of the catalog, or I go into making my recipe. And when you make a recipe, what's really nice is the reason you want to do your recipe next after you introduced yourself is because if you are cooking something, it might take a while for it to be made. And so you want to make sure that you make it so that it's done, so that you're not at the end and now it's not done. So you always do your core and your cooking next. After you do your core and your cooking and the recipe's done, even if it's a dip, you can always reheat it a little bit. It's okay. Let the people help you mix and open cans and everything like that. Give them extra tickets, and you get the core part of the party done with the catalog. Then at the core, now that's like scene number 1 in your party. Scene number 2 is the flyers and the sales specials. You know, pointing out the sales specials, and even if you don't have all of them, you just talk about them. And then the third thing is after, either in between. I normally do it after all of this is done, but you could do it in between. You could do a drawing from those tickets, and in between is also the time. In between scene 1 and scene 2 is when I have them introduce themselves. Everybody else introduces themselves, and I normally do the same thing. I normally have them either do the vote on which hostess gift they like the best and tell who they are. And if you're doing an auction with the tickets, I'll send that to you, like my little auction thing. Then you would have them get the tickets at the same time. You don't say, who used their pen or pencil, and then you go around to every single person and give them 3 tickets. No, instead what you do is you have them take the order form that's in the packet, and you tell them, we're going to go through this together. And so Nikki, so everybody here together, if you take your order form, if you use your own pen or pencil tonight, or you borrow from somebody else, you get 3 chances in my drawing. So on the top of the order form, there's a little tab that holds the 3 sheets together. If you just make little tally marks, like 3 of them, because I see you got your pen or pencil, she gets 3. And then what I'll do is I'll say, and if you don't have your own pen or pencil, if you borrow one from one of the other guests, they get an extra ticket, and you still get your 3. And then this way I normally never have to worry about pens and pencils. And then you give them tickets for everything else, and then they got maybe 8 tickets. And then what you would say is, okay, now let's go around and tell us who you are, and I'm going to meet everybody here tonight first that I've never met before. So I know I never met you before. Would you mind telling us who you are, how many tickets I owe you, and how long has it been since you were at a Tupperware party? And you've heard me say this 7,000 times. And they go, my name's Susie, and I've never been to a Tupperware party. Oh, and I have 10 tickets. And so, you know, so then you know she hasn't even seen Tupperware. So it kind of gets you to, so you know the guests. And then after I meet all the guests I didn't know, and they all get their tickets in between flyers, then, and I usually do have my little hand from the dollar store that claps and makes things exciting. And then I meet the people that have been to my parties, and I would say to Cheryl, for instance, Cheryl, tell us who you are, or, you know, tell us who you are, and how many tickets do I owe you, and what is one of your favorite pieces of Tupperware? And then when she tells what it is, if I haven't demonstrated it, now I talk about it, because, you know, she's telling me the fridge smarts or whatever. And why do you like it? Cheryl or Tanya, Nikki, you will sell more than the consultant will ever sell, because the guests will always sell more. So that's in the middle. So you have your, back to get your pre-party, your playbill, where you're handing out your flyers. You have your introduction, and then you have scene 1 is your recipe, which is normally things from the catalog. Then you have your drawing, you know, your introduction, then you go into your sales, and then the last part of the party is the game with the gadgets for dating parties. And, you know, again, you want to, really important, you don't want to tell them it's for dating parties. We'll do one more activity. Who likes free things? Yay, raise your hand. And whenever you raise your hand, go, do you like these? You know, or how many of you like, you know, you shake your head up and down, that, yeah, I do too. And you kind of get them all involved. And it's just a regular little system that really does work well. And if you need to use 3x5 cards, use 3x5 cards. This actually is some of my recipes that I make at my Tupperware parties. I'm going to send you this whole little file. This actually just gives ingredients. I never give the hostess, if I'm cooking, I never have how you make the food. And the reason I do that is if I tell her how to make all these things, they don't need me for more parties. They just know what ingredients to have. So I only send them that. I tell them to always have a half a gallon of vanilla ice cream, because they can make a sweet dessert. And with a half a gallon of vanilla ice cream, it'll last, you know, it can feed 15, 16 people. I know some people go crazy. The fact that I normally on my invitations, let me just go into one. I do not put, I put RSVP regrets only, because people don't normally, they don't RSVP a lot of times. And if you put on their RSVP and your hostess gets no phone calls, she's going to be calling you and saying, hey, can we change my party to a book party? Evidently, nobody can come because nobody's called. But when they don't know, and the other thing is, I've actually had guests say to me many times, the reason I came is I wasn't going to come, but I forgot to tell her I wasn't coming, and so I came. So, you might go, so actually I get more people at my parties because it does say that, because they forget to tell her they're not coming. Now these are just some different, these are old. Like I refill these in. Here's a Tupperware party, girls' night out. I have like that little drink on there. But I have different like things. And these pictures here on my invitations, you can go to Tupperware's website, to Tupperware.com, and you can right click on those items and copy and paste new pictures in the pages. But you'll see they get tickets if it's sunny outside, if they date a party before it starts, if they brought an uninvited adult guest. Again, if they bring somebody that's not invited, you know what? That's another order, another person you can date a party from. They get tickets for being on time. So, here's a pool party invitation. I got that little girl off of the internet or whatever. But, so here's a football tailgate party. So you can have different, here's like Christmas time, shop on your seat instead of your feet party. So, and these are old pictures. This is old. And here's a naughty nighty party. Cindy Turner does those a lot. That's where everybody brings their nighty in a brown paper bag, a grocery bag, and they bring it, and they just bring it so nobody sees what it is. And then when they come in the door, you collect all the bags, and you put a number on each bag. You don't let anybody else see them. And then what you do is, so if you have 8 guests there, you have 8 bags. And then what they do is you go through and play a little game, and you pick out like bag number 1, and you show it, and they have to guess. They have to write down a list of 1 to 8 who they think those nighties belong to. And then you'll get people that have empty bags, and it's kind of fun. Anyways, so you have different ones. The one thing I do too is if I have young people, I'm just gonna say, if I have young people that come into a party for sure, I normally always put in, because they work, I'll put in like this salad on the go, or that lunch bag. I will say this too, that lunch bag, Tanya and I were talking about it last night, when you show it at the party, it is so much more attractive in person. So, now here's one of them. But anyway, so here's, these are just some ideas. Okay. Any questions at all? Let's go over some questions real quick, and then I don't want to keep you any longer. It's been over an hour. So I'm going to leave the taping going on with the questions. Okay, I'm ready. You want to talk, or you can chat, whatever you want to do. Okay, oh gosh, we got 8 chats. Okay, I'm ready. Okay, let's see here. Stacker, I just closed on. Yeah, I want to congratulate Tanya is already just almost, she's going to get her pants. I really think she's going to do it this month. I need a bumper sticker that says I sell Tupperware. That's good. I have to go. Bye, Tanya. Okay. 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 Anybody else have any questions? There are, I think there are some places you can get stuff like that. Let me just do something here. I'm going to share the screen. Oh, wait, here's something else here. I need auction party reasons for cash. Oh, okay. And I don't use actually cash, Nikki. I actually just give tickets away. Is that what you're asking? Like, what are some different things you could have them, like, for the auction? Okay, here, let me go back to my thing here. Well, okay, first of all, you could give them cash just for being on time. Okay, I'm going to send you my invitations. It does say all these things in it. But the cash, too, is if you do have them cook. And I was mentioning, I think, to Tanya earlier, last night, because we talked for a little bit after the meeting that we had, that if they have like tomato soup on sale for like 20 cents a can, or you go to one of those, liquidator places, and they have vegetables or fruits or whatever that are cheap, keep a couple cans in your car, because then when you go to a party, you have a can to use your can opener on if the recipe doesn't have a can. Because you can show people how that can opener works. It's much more impressive. Let me just go over some of the different things. You could do just for being on time. That's one thing. auction money, before you start, you're going to say, you know, the auction money, and you could even say to people as they're coming in, you know, you're seeming so nice. I hope you're thinking about dating a Tupperware party. By dating one, we're doing drawings tonight with auction money, and you get an extra $500 if you date a party before the party starts. And you could, you know, date part. Why do you have to wait till the end to date parties? You can date early. You could give them, if there's a theme to the party, like if there's any kind of a theme, like, you know, like NASCAR or wearing a certain color, green for March. If there's a theme to the party, you could actually give them money for that theme. You could give them money, for instance, you could give them money right now if they weeded. If they pulled at least one weed out of their yard, you could give them money. You can give them money if they if they use their own pen or pencil. You can give them money if they brought a guest. You can give them money if they brought an outside order. You can give them money if they live. Another thing to give them money for is have them tell, like, what street they live on, and have them go around, just when you're saying who they are, tell us what street you are. Some of you are going to get some extra tickets or extra money depending upon which street you live on. And let's say they said, I live on Penn Avenue, and you've never done a party on Penn Avenue. Then when you get done, you could say, okay, you might get some extra money. Just remember, because those of you that I'm telling you, you might get extra money, you got to remember. And then someone else, and then just say, who did I tell you might get extra money? I live on, and what road do you live on, Debbie? I live on Penn Avenue. I live on Corduroy Road. Okay, well, the reason I said you might get extra money is if you right now decide, I think I'll have a few friends over to see what's new in Tupperware, I'm going to give you an extra $200 in money or a certain number of tickets, because I've never had a party on that street. My goal is to have a party on every single street. So you could do something like that. So you could give them an extra. You could put it into the thing. They get extra tickets if they are extra auction money if they went to your website. Because if they go to your website ahead of time, they're looking at your website. Their cookie now is in your website. And now if they ever go order Tupperware, unless they get invited to another party, they go to even Tupperware.com. They come to my website, because on the Facebook event, I had them come to my website, and they order, and in a month, they say, I want some more of those things. And they go to Tupperware.com because they don't remember your website. You will get credit for that, because it'll say right at the top, your consultant is Nikki Schlegel or whatever. So you want to get people to go to your website. Another thing you could do is you could have you could make it more specific. Say it's Mother's Day is coming up. It's the month of May. Anyone that brings their mother or mother type friend, they could get extra money. Maybe it's June. Anybody they bring that had a graduate in their household, somebody that graduated from college or high school, or had any kind of a celebration like confirmed or graduated from preschool, they bring them, they get extra money. Sometimes, too, you want to try to get variations of ages at your party, because sometimes young people, they don't know Tupperware. I mean, they know it, but they don't. And so sometimes they don't have the money to spend, but they'll date. But there's a lot of women out there, too, that are older, too, and they will date and they will spend. They've got more money, and the grandkids want this. They just are, so anyways. Okay, does that help you? Okay, and then, okay. Okay, great. Okay, any other questions? I hope you enjoyed this tonight. I hope you learned something. You know what? Can you share with me and you're all going in extra drawings for the Smart Steamer. I'm going to unmute Cheryl. Cheryl, I'm going to ask each of you, if there's one or two things that you learned tonight that you think you could use or you might do that you haven't been doing, and it's okay, if there's nothing you learned, it's okay too, but, it could be the littlest thing, it doesn't matter. So we're going to start with Cheryl. Cheryl, I got you unmuted now. Is there anything you learned tonight or anything you heard that was new you never heard about before?
I like the idea of standing at the door or wherever and handing out the folders, because a lot of times I have them sitting on the table and I'll tell them that hand them as like that rather than stand up with them. I do like that.
Right. Another thing I didn't mention with the folders, and if you've been to any of my parties, I don't always do it, but I actually number my folders. My folders have numbers on them. So like in the top corner. I have plastic ones, but you could do with paper ones. I have like, I just have numbered. They all have a different number. And what I do is I can also, sometimes I'll say to them, you know, if you don't mind, if you put your number down on your order form, I am going to be doing a drawing. My door prize drawing is going to be from the folder. So if I pull your folder out at the end of the party, when, you know, after we get the orders in, you will win the door prize drawing. The other reason I do that is I will tell them inside the folder there's some information about selling Tupperware. And I just started using the paper that Tupperware gives, the colored one that you got in your kits. It's like one sheet, and it shows the kit and where will the party take you. And so I tell them that paper, I need the folders back because I reuse them at my next parties. And I do put 3 or 4 order forms in every folder. And I tell them the reason that's like that is for my party tomorrow, or, you know, in a day or whenever it is my next party. I know my folder's all just like I need it. So I appreciate if they could just put everything back in. But if they do want a catalog, let me know and I'll give them one, you know. But on the other side, there's the thing about recruiting, about selling Tupperware, because we're looking for people. I talk about a little bit about, you know, whether it's for credit card debt, school loans, blah, blah, blah. If you take that, you're welcome to take that paper for you or for somebody else, and this way you'll have the information or more information. And if you're interested, you know, just let me know, or please fill out that little 9-square sheet. So I have the 9-square sheet with the 9 boxes that we're doing the drawing for at each organizational meeting, and then the recruiting paper. Now, when I get the folder back and Nikki had number 7, and I look in number 7 and the recruiting information isn't in there anymore, I know she took it. So maybe she's interested in a little bit more information about it, or she knows somebody. So it gives me a heads up that, you know, and I would call Nikki and I wouldn't say I'm calling because you took something on my folder. I call and say, hey, I'm giving you a call because you're so fun at the party. I was just wondering if I could give you some free information because we're looking for people like you in Tupperware, and I'd love to just give you some information or have my friend tell you about it, or give me the name and number. So, okay. Nikki, what is something that you heard? Is there anything you heard that was different that you hadn't heard before? Or
yeah, I keep calling it shipping and stuff. So I will definitely be switching to saying FedEx rather than shipping.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, because, people are like, oh, well, you know, I had somebody order from a party last week, and they were like, wow, that's like a lot of money for shipping. Like, is there handling on that too? And I said, no. I said, but their order was over $45. So... And I was like, they didn't understand that the tax went on at the end and stuff. And I was like, this is not, like, I was like, everything comes FedEx, and I should have just said it's FedEx, not.
Well, it does help, because it's like, I don't know, I think it comes across better, you know. And sometimes people do, they do really question, like, oh, is this coming to me? And I'll just say, oh no, it's actually coming to the hostess, but if you do want it to come to you, I can do that. It's just an extra $4.50. It's just the FedEx for going to her. Oh, okay. But they don't even get to that point where they're going, oh, you know, like, whatever. So anyways, okay. Any other questions? Okay. All right. Well, we're going to let you go. Thank you for coming to my meeting tonight. I hope you had fun. I enjoy these Zoom meetings. I know Nikki does too.
I do.
Oh, I do too. You learn a lot.
And Cheryl, you guys are all doing so good. I'm so excited for you. Now, Cheryl, are we going to, Nikki might want to go with us. Are we going to New York City? Or did she leave us? She might have left us. Are you going?
I told Tanya that, yeah, we can if you guys want to. I don't have a lot of extra money to spend, but it'd be fun just to go and look around.
Well, you know, too, you don't have to spend a lot of money, too. You know, the thing is we can ride by, we can park and go over, and then we can park there even, and like, just, you can see the Statue of Liberty and everything right from the thing. And the other thing too is, if we get on the train, you can take it like all over the place really inexpensively for the day. I'll get the whole thing so you have an idea. But I might mention to some of the other girls that if they do want to come too, that they can come, because I think it'd be fun for you to meet more of the people too, you know.
Right.
To come. So Nikki, if you want to come, we might go to New York City on
With it being I don't know. I have to see. I have to find a babysitter.
I know. You're coming to see Stanova though, right?
Yeah.
You're going to be so excited. Okay, all right. And he always usually, don't tell everybody this, but he normally brings a really exclusive piece of Tupperware that everybody takes home that night. So it's kind of fun. Yeah, so are you riding with somebody, Nikki? Are you driving yourself?
Yeah. I'm pretty sure that Heather Wick and I are carpooling.
That's good. Okay. So,
I'm positive.
yeah, I just was wondering because I thought if we get more people coming in those cars too, I think sometimes if they know they're coming with somebody else to come, where I just like, I think, I don't know, I'm trying to, does Heather have a really, do you drive or does Heather drive?
I don't know what we're doing yet. We both drive, so.
Okay. All right. Okay. All right. Well, I'm going to let you guys go, and then I will be in touch. And Cheryl, are you driving? Do you think you will be driving, or will Tanya be driving?
I don't know exactly. We haven't really figured it out. We both have leases, so I'm not sure. She was talking about maybe getting her mom's car.
Yeah,
I don't know how we're going to work that out.
To my house, it's about 450 miles. That's how many miles it is.
And then we have on the 4th in the morning, we have to leave to go get Jack's kids, and they're down in Ferrysville, Ohio. So yeah, I'm not sure.
Yeah, and once you get here, I'll be driving us everywhere in the Tupperware car, so you don't have to drive anywhere once we get here. Okay? So, okay. All right, well, I'll let you guys go then. You guys have a wonderful evening, and I'm going to put you in more chances in my Smart Steamer. I am hoping, I got to be honest with you, I'm hoping that some of you that have been on a lot, like you both have been on a lot, I'm hoping that you guys win because I just feel like you've been on the most. I should have just said whoever gets on the most, but I got to do it the right way. So, anyways. But you do have lots of chances. You have a million chances, Nikki. And Cheryl, you have a lot of chances, too. So that should be good. So, okay.
Are you doing the two? Are you doing two, or are you just doing one now?
Two. We're doing two
Okay.
drawings. Yeah, it's two Smart Steamers. Let's like change one to a pressure cooker, too. I might add a pressure cooker in. That'll be next one. Okay. All right. We'll talk to you later. Goodbye now. Thanks. Bye-bye.
Okay, bye.